Welcome to another episode of the Money Wheel Podcast. The journey to wealth starts here with your host, Don Shade.
Hello, my friend and future millionaire. Welcome to this episode of the Money Wheel. My name is Don Shade. Now, in the last episode, I talked some about your lifestyle and maybe the differences between, let's say, a $40,000 or $50,000 a year factory worker versus maybe a $100,000 a year CEO. The point I want to make very clear here is this. You're not broke because of the amount of money you make. You're broke because you've extended your lifestyle to the very edge of your income, whether that income is $50,000 a year or whether that income is $100,000 a year. The only difference is two different people are broke at two different levels. It doesn't mean you have any more cash in your pocket. The difference between a $100,000 CEO and a $50,000 factory worker, the CEO feels that he needs to carry a certain image. So he goes out and he buys a Mercedes-Benz. The $50,000 factory worker will drive a top-notch Chevy. But obviously, the debt on both those vehicles is different. The top CEO will feel that he owes himself a big house with a big mortgage in a fancy gated community, where the $50,000 factory worker will buy an average house somewhere that fits his lifestyle, but it's kind of to the edge of his budget. Here's the problem, and this is why people do not build wealth. They build their lifestyle to what they think they'll enjoy for where they can afford it. If you started out making $25,000 a year, let's say you graduated from college in an entry-level position, your first year you made $25,000. You have a few frills lifestyle. Then all of a sudden you get a promotion and you're making $35,000. Well, now the first thing you're doing, you're going out and you're buying a different car. You're improving different stuff in your life. You're buying new furniture, that kind of stuff. Now, let me make it very clear. There's nothing wrong with that, but I want you to understand what happens in the long-term picture. You've moved your lifestyle up to where now you need that $35,000 to survive. You didn't put any money aside to pay yourself first. What you need to do here to build a savings account and to make sure you always have money is start making a monthly payment to yourself, whatever you decide it to be. And the way we started that out in the beginning of this, we started out with you putting $5 a week aside to build up to where you had $100 in your wallet, and then we got to $500. Well, now that you have that $500, let's start building a bank account. And this is how you start to build wealth for yourself over time. And as your skills improve with managing money and the way you spend it, you're going to get better at the decisions you make and what you do with your money. You know, it was funny just the other day, I was talking to a couple that wanted to buy a house from me. Those of you that know my background, I've done a lot of real estate deals. And this couple was talking to me, and they were saying that they just couldn't come up with any kind of down payment money to work with. They needed a few weeks to make it happen. The issue that I noticed was this. As they were talking to me, they were both standing there smoking cigarettes. Now, at the time of this recording, cigarettes are around $9 or $10 a pack for the top brands. Well, you smoke a pack a day over a year's time, how much money are you spending? This is one of the things that I want you to take a look at in your life. Is there areas that you're wasting money like that? Think of this. Now, I didn't say anything to this couple, but think of this. 10 years from now, from them each smoking cigarettes, are they going to be better off then than they are now? Financially, health-wise? The reason I bring that point up is this. If they would have started managing their money right, a few years back and not bought cigarettes and done, stuff like that, where would they be today? But the issue with the real estate deal was this. They wanted me to do owner financing so they could afford to be in the house. Are you someone who's in that position? And what I want to make sure I point out to you is this. It's never because you don't make enough money. You make plenty of money. You're just making the wrong choices with the money you make. That's everything I have for this episode of The Money Wheel. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Money Wheel Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and like the podcast. For everything that was talked about in today's amazing show, go to moneywheelpodcast.com and get today's show notes, past episodes, and most importantly, you can connect with Don Shade on all his social media platforms. Again, at moneywheelpodcast.com. If you are just looking to email Don, you can email him at don@moneywheelpodcast.com. For a list of all our tools we use in our business, you can go to moneywheelpodcast.com/resources. Again, thank you for listening to today's podcast, and see you in our next episode of the Money Wheel Podcast.